Okay, so when you hear the word blockchain, your mind probably jumps straight to crypto, right? But honestly, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Today, we're going to dive into the real business of blockchain, how this technology is getting ready to completely change how huge companies get work done. I mean, just try to picture a giant global corporation for a second. Every single day, they are juggling thousands of transactions, suppliers, invoices, you name it. How on earth do they manage all of that? I mean, everything from ordering a tiny little screw to paying off $1 million contract. Well, for the last few decades, the answer has always been this kind of central digital brain. It's this one massive software system that connects every single part of the company. It's supposed to be the one and only source of truth for, well, for everything. But, that brain has some serious limits. Sure, it gives a company control, but it can also be incredibly slow, it can be vulnerable, and it often creates these major bottlenecks. So, what if there was a better way? A way to build trust and efficiency between companies. Now, the official name for this so-called brain is an Enterprise Resource Planning System, or ERP for short. The easiest way to think about it is like the operating system for a whole business. It's the kind of software that giants like SAP and Oracle build to run everything from finance to HR. And right at the heart of that ERP, you'll find the Accounting Information System, or AIS. This is the financial core. It's the part that tracks every single dollar, every transaction, making sure the company is playing by the rules. It is the system of record. And here's the really crucial part. These systems are, by their very design, centralized. You can see it on the left. One single entity, the company, is in total control. This is the complete opposite of the decentralized model you see on the right, where control is shared among a whole bunch of different participants. So why in the world did we build our entire global economy on these centralized systems? Well, honestly, for some pretty good reasons. It gave us confidentiality, a really clear chain of command, and back then, it seemed like the most cost-effective way to handle complex operations. But this is where our story takes a big turn. And that turn brings us to blockchain. At its very core, as the research puts it, the blockchain is a shared and immutable database. It sounds simple, but that idea is incredibly powerful. See, this isn't about creating a new currency. It's about creating a whole new kind of record book. So what does that actually mean? Well, blockchain is a type of distributed ledger technology, or DLT. So instead of one central copy of the books, everyone in the network gets their own identical copy. Transactions get bundled into these blocks, which are then chained together and locked up tight with some really powerful cryptography. Now, this new structure is so powerful because it unlocks 4 revolutionary characteristics that, frankly, traditional systems just can't compete with. Okay, first you get trust that's literally built into the system, so you don't need a middleman anymore. Second, it gives you radical transparency and accountability because everyone is looking at the exact same ledger. Third, it allows for automation through something called smart contracts. We'll get to those. And finally, you get immutability. Once a record is on there, it cannot be changed or deleted, period. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look at a super common business process, e-procurement. This is the perfect before and after story to show how companies buy stuff. So this is the before. A buyer makes a purchase order. The supplier sends an invoice. Then, some poor soul has to sit there and manually check that the purchase order, the invoice, and the delivery receipt all match up. It's so slow, it's full of potential errors, and the payment can end up being delayed for weeks. All right, now let's take that exact same process and just sprinkle a little blockchain on it and see what happens. The magic ingredient here is the smart contract. The best way to think of it is like a digital vending machine. It's a program that lives on the blockchain and it automatically carries out the terms of an agreement, like, say, releasing a payment, but only once it verifies that all the rules have been followed. And boom, this is the after. The buyer and supplier agree to a smart contract. As the goods are moving, their status gets updated on the shared ledger for everyone to see. The second the system confirms delivery, that smart contract automatically releases the payment. Instantly. No manual matching, no waiting, no delays. So what did we get out of that? A complete transformation. We're talking unbelievable automation, a huge boost in speed, way better security thanks to cryptography, and total transparency for both the buyer and the seller. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. What's the real payoff here? What's the big picture? We are talking about a totally new, integrated future for how businesses work with each other. I mean, the benefits are super clear, and you can really feel them. We're looking at way less time spent on procurement, powerful IT automation that frees up actual humans to do more important work, huge cost reductions from cutting out all that manual work, and of course, better security all around. And if you boil it all down, the three biggest wins are just impossible to ignore. Companies that jump on this aren't just getting a small tweak. They're getting this powerful combo of enhanced security, a massive leap in efficiency, and some very, very real cost savings. What this all does in the end is it transforms these lonely, walled-off ERP systems into a connected, decentralized business network. It creates a shared, trusted foundation where companies can do business with each other seamlessly. So, really the most important thing to remember is this. By integrating blockchain with the core accounting and ERP systems that already run our world, we create a more trustworthy and more efficient system for everyone involved, from the smallest supplier all the way up to the biggest corporation. And look, this is just one example. E-procurement is just the test case, the proof that this model actually works. You can apply these same ideas, trust, transparency, automation, to pretty much anything a business does. Which leaves us with one final and, I think, fascinating question. Now that we have the blueprint, what business process is next? Will it be supply chains, royalty payments, international trade? What gets transformed next?